You guys asked for it, so we're going to be doing an Nvidia video, and we're going to be covering this on a daily chart. Now, the first thing I want to say is I do not have any positions open on this. I do not have anything at all planned, even. I did have a short on SMCI. I think that SMCI fundamentally is entirely different than Nvidia. I've gone over that in a lot of other videos, so I don't want to talk too much about that in this exact video. But what I want to look at is go through with you guys how I'm viewing a chart from complete scratch and looking at this on a bigger time frame. Most of you guys who are trading should be swing trading. You should be focusing on bigger time frames, minimally an hour, because if you're focusing on your full-time job during the day, not to mention all the responsibilities that you have outside of that, to think that you're going to be able to day trade and go up against fucking hedge fund managers who are doing this for a living, ripping the throats out of retail every day, it's just not a good idea. The first thing that we have to understand is the psychology of the market and psychology of actual candlesticks. Each one of these candlesticks is not some numerical point in which the stock knows to fucking bounce or to reject or to do whatever. Any pattern that you're looking at, any support, any resistance, anything, all that is a psychological imprint on the market. The same way that if you go and you grab a hot pot when you're cooking dinner, every single time you're cooking a steak, the first time you burn your hand, okay? The next time, maybe you're not paying attention, you burn your hand again. But eventually, you get this understanding that I don't grab the pan. So that's the first thing. And in this instance, that's where we see a lot of resistances and a lot of support. So the first thing that we're going to do, looking at a daily chart here, is we're going to look at what type of market are we currently in. Okay, and there's normally two. The first one we're going to talk about is the easiest one, which is just going to be a consolidation market, or basically a sideways market. You can see here, looking at Nvidia, that for the longest time, basically from June 1st of 2023, all the way out to January 3rd of 2024, we did nothing but consolidate and sit sideways. So during these times, right, we're looking here, and we're not saying that the stock did absolutely nothing. Every one of these moves is about 21% from upside to downside. But if we're actually looking at a hedge fund, people who can move the markets, don't think like us, okay? It's the biggest thing. Don't think like us. Think like a Pelosi even, or think like a hedge fund manager. You have all of these people who are accumulating shares, okay, within these levels. Hundreds of millions of dollars, or even call options, like the Pelosi herself. And then you get this massive breakout. Now this here, after a massive consolidation, this is called an expansion, okay? And so in this expansion, this is where a lot of people lose their ass. They see a massive expansion like this, 66% in 2 months, and they think to themselves, the market can't continue to go up. Nvidia shouldn't continue to go up. There's no way it can continue to go up. And the truth is, it definitely can go up. And it will continue to go up until it fucking very well pleases. So if we look here as well, there's a couple of signs of weakness. Up until this, we didn't have a single sign of weakness. Every single one of these days, we're just pushing up higher, 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 sometimes holding steady, but we're never taking multiple lows out, okay? This time, we actually get a point where we take out some lows, but we bounce right at our 0.618. This is the Fibonacci level. This is very important, but this was earnings. So for everybody who was looking to short Nvidia, my plan was if earnings were shit, we broke through this level, I would wait for a retest back up and then look to go short. Well, guess what? That didn't happen, so we don't take the trade. We don't force anything. We get the big gap up off of earnings. We get this next rally up here, and you're going to see now at this point, this is the high that we have coming up at about $823. So there's a chance, I don't even know why that just went back. So there's a chance that we could come back up into this 828 range and potentially reject. But at this point, in my opinion, there's just no reason to go short at this moment. I'm not going long because the risk versus reward is just not there, right? All of these people who have been accumulating shares between 400 to 500, and they are currently up 106% within 1 to 2 months. Do you think that those people who can continue to actually push the market up, the people who have the capability to, do you think that they're buying Nvidia right now? No. Why would they be buying? I'm not saying they're selling, but why would they be buying? They've been accumulating shares between $400 to $500. They have no reason to continue to accumulate shares up here. The only people continuing to accumulate shares up here is retail, okay? The everyday investor. And on top of that, at some point, these people will start to scale out. And once there is an imbalancement of people, right, big money who can actually move the market, then we're going to see this rejection. And I do think that that will probably happen somewhere around, maybe 850, 900, but I would rather wait for the confirmation. I would rather see something like SMCI to go short where we actually get this rejection, we actually come back up to test, and then we reject again. Confirmation is everything. If you're going to take your hard-earned money, if you're going to take your hard-earned capital, and you're going to put it out there and risk it, first of all, you need to be using proper risk allocation, which we teach that in our Discord community. I also teach that here on the channel and on our X account, which you should be following me at. But you need to make sure that it's something that is not necessarily safe, but something that we at least have confirmation of something occurring. Some other sign other than there's no reason the stock can't continue to go up. So for those of you who are long-term investors in Nvidia, I hope that this thing continues to rip. For those of you who are looking to go short, I'm waiting for confirmation. And in the meantime, we'll just continue to monitor this. Thanks for all the support, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.